our first side dish, we're going to be making vegan mashed potatoes, and we are going to use Yukon Gold potatoes. These are the elite potatoes for mashed potatoes, okay? I don't want to see you using russet. Use Yukon Gold. Of course, we're going to peel them, and I'm also looking for any imperfections in the potatoes, and then I will just cut them into slices and quarter them. I wasn't having a Kendall Jenner moment there. The potato just got stuck to the knife, okay? So just cut it into quarters. I don't like to cut it too small, but you want to cut them small enough that they'll cook up relatively quickly. Yukon Gold potatoes are a softer potato, so they do cook faster than a russet. And I just think the color, the taste, the texture, everything is so much better. We're going to cover these with just enough water. This was about 3.5 cups of water. Add a little salt into the water, boil for 30 minutes or until fork tender. Now, after they are done boiling and nice and soft on the fork, we are going to drain out any water that's left. We'll add in vegan butter. We'll add in vegan sour cream. This is so important. I'll explain why in 1 second. We're going to add in non-dairy milk, garlic powder, and salt. So why is the vegan sour cream so important? It adds tanginess, it adds acidity, and it adds texture. It is so important when making mashed potatoes to add that in. I'm using the one from Foragers today, but you can use sort of any brand that you like. Violife is good, Tofuti. And then after I mashed it up, I learned this trick from my friend Sarah, Better Food Guru on Instagram, to get in there with a whisk and really whip it and whisk it up, and it made such a difference. So definitely do that. And look at these mashed potatoes. They're creamy, they're dreamy, they are incredible. I'm going to put them into my little serving dish, and then there's just something about a big bowl of mashed potatoes. I'm going to smooth, make some little cute curves on top with my little spatula, then add a little bit of vegan butter right on top. I'm using Miyoko's today, and this will melt. It looks so good. Then you could add anything you want on top. I just kept it super simple with some black pepper and salt. Of course, you could do chives or anything you like, and these are seriously the best vegan mashed potatoes. They're so good. Now, let's move on to our next recipe for creamed spinach. And I know you're thinking, Francesca, cream spinach, it's kind of weird. No, cream spinach is delicious. So we're going to start off with 2 blocks of frozen spinach. Don't add any water into here. Just put them on the stove. Forget about them. We're going to chop up some garlic as finely as we can and some onion. You guys should know this by now. If you watch my videos, I am partial to a Vidalia onion because it is sweeter. And I'm going to cut these up pretty small. Then in a separate saucepan, we're going to heat up some vegan butter, let that melt down. We'll add in the onion, the garlic, let that cook for like 5 to 7 minutes. And then we're going to add in a tub of vegan cream cheese. I'm using Kite Hill, and we're just going to let that cook on its own for about 30 seconds to a minute. This is all happening over a medium-low heat. Then we're going to add in our non-dairy milk, and we're going to mix this up, let it get well incorporated, add in nutritional yeast, black pepper, and salt. For all these recipes, I am using unsweetened, unflavored almond milk because it's a lot of non-dairy milk that we got to go through, and almond milk is just better for this kind of thing. So while I let that sauce cook up, the spinach was done cooking. Now spinach has a lot of water. We want to get that out. So I like to take some paper towels and do a few rounds of squeezing, get out my holiday stress and aggression. I'm just kidding, but squeeze out as much liquid as you can. You don't have to go crazy, but 2 to 3 rounds will be good. And then we're going to pour that spinach right in to the mixture and just mix it all up. And oh my goodness, if you don't love cream spinach, I don't get it. It's like spinach and artichoke dip without the artichoke. I wanted mine a little bit creamier, so I did add in another 1/2 cup of non-dairy milk. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Give it a taste. I added in a little more black pepper and garlic powder. I know nutmeg is traditional, but I could take or leave it, so I left it. If you want to add it in, add it in. And there we go. Now we have this beautiful cream spinach, and it is so good. Plate it up. I just love it. Like, I love the texture. I love the flavor. It's a fun way to get your greens in. Serve it up. Kept the garnish super simple. Just some black pepper and salt on there. Really doesn't need much. And it comes out so good. So delicious. You're going to absolutely love this one. For our next dish, we're going to make a baked mac and cheese. And we're going to start off by doing the potato, cashew, carrot. Now, don't worry. We're also going to add in vegan cheese. But I like combining these 2 things together. So I'm just covering this with water, boiling it. Once it's all nice and soft, fork tender again, you know the deal. We're popping that into a blender. Then we are going to add in non-dairy milk, and we're going to add in a bunch of seasonings. As always, everything is written out in the description box down below. We got garlic powder, onion powder, salt, paprika, nutritional yeast. blend this up for about 1 to 2 minutes till it's nice and thick and creamy. And this honestly tastes so delicious on its own. For pasta, I'm using cavatappi. You want to use something like elbows, cavatappi, a good mac and cheese shape, okay? We're going to, while that's boiling, empty out our cheese sauce into the pan. Now I have vegan mozzarella. I'm going to use about 2/3 of it. Pop it in there. We're going to save the last third for topping. Same goes with the vegan cheddar. 2/3 in, save a third. And we're going to add in 1 slice of vegan American cheese. American cheese or American style cheese is really good in mac and cheese. So if you can find it, I definitely encourage you to add it in. We're going to cook this for just a few minutes. We don't need everything to melt because the oven is going to take care of that. I'm going to fill the blender with about 1/4 cup of water, swish it around and get out any remaining sauce. Now you want this vegan cheese sauce to be pretty thin because otherwise when it bakes, it's just not going to come out good. So I saved a little bit of pasta water when the pasta was done cooking, and I cooked the pasta for only about 5 minutes because again, if you get the pasta too soft, then it's just going to turn into a mess in the oven. We don't want overcooked pasta and we don't want dry mac and cheese. So make sure ahead of time that your pasta is a little harder and that your sauce is a little runnier than you think it should be. And then pour it into a baking pan. And honestly, if you, of course, just want to make stovetop mac and cheese, just let this both cook for like a little bit longer and it will be so delicious. But we're going to add that remaining vegan cheese on top. And you can add as much vegan cheese as you like. If you want to go cheesier, be my guest. And then we are going to top it with some foil. I'm trying to make sure it's slightly vented, like it's not fully covered on it. And we're going to bake this for 40 minutes and then we'll broil it a little bit. Again, full instructions are on the blog post and in the description box. And then we'll be done and it looks so good. I don't top it with anything, but if you want to add some greens on there like chives or something, go for it. It's delicious. For our last recipe, we're making twice baked sweet potatoes. I'm starting off with 3 sweet potatoes and I'm going to puncture them with a fork. And we are going to bake these in the oven at 450 degrees for about 45 minutes. And we're just going to put them in there and forget about them. When they're all done, there we go, nice and caramelized. You can also pop them in the microwave if you don't feel like baking them. And they're very hot inside, so I'm cutting them all in half and then I'm going to let them just take like 15 minutes to cool when they're all opened up because look at all that steam. In the meantime, we'll make our topping. So I'm going to chop up some pecans and then I like to chop them up really, really small. You can also buy chopped pecans ahead of time. So I'll pop those into my bowl. We're making this delicious streusel topping. We're going to add in organic brown sugar. We're going in with some oats and then I'm using vegan butter. For this, I went with country crock because I just feel like the Miyokos I like better in certain things. The country crock I like better in certain things. I don't know, it doesn't matter. Now we're going to mix this all up, starting with our fork. You guys should know, if you watch my videos, I love to crumble things with my hands. As long as your hands are clean, it's totally fine. Get in there, crumble it up, mix it up. Our hands are our best tools. Put this to the side. Back to the potatoes. We need to make little boats, potato boats. So I'm going to take a sharp knife. I'm going to make an oval inside the potato, and then we will scoop out the innards. This is how you make a twice baked potato. And I just did this with all my little potato halves, and then we have to mash the potatoes. And this is so delicious. It's almost like personalized sweet potato casserole. It's so fun. I really love it. Or if you want to put not mashed potatoes, marshmallows on top, that would be delicious. Although mashed potatoes could be cool too. That's a fun idea. So I got my little innards and I'm going to add in non-dairy milk, vegan butter, cinnamon, mashed it all up. Now I tasted this and I did want it slightly sweeter, so I'm going in with some maple syrup and a little salt. Mix it up, tastes good, perfect. And you know, you can add in whatever you like to add in. I like to keep it more simple. We are now going to take like 2 heaping spoonfuls of the mashed potato mixture, pop it back into our little potato skins, and just use your back of your spoon, spread it out. Then we will add the pecan streusel topping. And now these go in the oven to bake for about 20 minutes, and they will come out looking absolutely beautiful and delicious. I love, love, love the flavors and the textures here, and there's just so much going on. I just think they look so pretty as well. I mean, sweet potatoes are just the best. Yeah, now it's just time to plate them up. We don't need to do anything fancy again with these. Like, I just feel like there's so much going on already in the twice baked sweet potato. So I just did some cinnamon and salt on top, and that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed all of these recipes. Like I said earlier, full nut recipes are on plantfullybasedblog.com. Links are in the description box. I write all the ingredients in the description box, and I list out anything you might need to know in the description box. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Let me know if you make any of these, and I'll see you soon with more recipes. Bye.